Ben Riley's detective office is open and he is taking cases. So let's talk about it. Welcome back to Collard Greens and Nerdy Things, your one stop shop for all the things nerdy. I am your host, King, and this is the greatest co host in the multiverse, JC3. And today we are talking about the upcoming series Spider Man Noir starring Nicolas Cage on Amazon. So if you like talking about nerdy things like Marvel, DC, Spider Man, then drop us a comment, check us out, follow along, and share to your friends. Spread the word. We're out here talking about all kinds of nerdy things every day, and we'd love you to be there with us. Let's get the party started. They just dropped the first trailer for Spider Man Noir. We're actually going to see a live action Ben Riley for the first time. So, Jay, kick us off with your first thoughts.
Man, my first thoughts are I guess this is why we haven't gotten the Spider-Man brand new day trailer yet because they want to sneak this one up on us. But honestly, this was a very pleasant surprise. I actually have been looking forward to this series. It's one of the few series that's still greenlit, considering how Sony has shut down the rest of their Spider-Verse. But I was actually really intrigued to see this trailer, man. We get introduced to Ben Riley again, Spider Noir. We've seen him previously in the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie, which is to me one of the greatest superhero movies of all time, and he was one of the standout characters of that movie. And for us to be getting a spinoff, not just movie but TV show of this character, I think it's going to work out splendidly. And honestly, Nicolas Cage is one of my favorite actors ever, so this just goes hand in hand for me.
I think it's going to be really cool to have this kind of period piece because it's in the modern world, but it's also in a world that I guess time probably didn't move the same as we do. So they kind of have this 1950s noir. And I love that. I was a kid who watched Dick Tracy and all those old noir movies. So I love that we're kind of going back to that. And one of the things that I really loved about it was I watched both trailers and it's going to be in black and white and Technicolor. So it's really cool to kind of watch back and forth. And finally, we get to see Ben Riley. We've never seen him depicted in live action. And we honestly rarely saw him in cartoon. You really knew about him in the comics. So it's going to be a really cool story that they're going to tell. It looks like so far that we might have like four villains ish. I didn't really. It looks like Electro. We know Sandman's confirmed. There was a couple of other ones in the trailer that I can't think of off the top of my head, but as we go along, I'll remember them. But I thought that was really cool that we're gonna get quite a few villains and quite a few like world building to set up the world that Nicolas Cage's Ben Riley lives in. And rumor is they're not going to call him Spider Man. They're going to call him the Spider, which reminds me is Man Spider is one of them that we think we might get.
I'll be very intrigued to see Man Spider. I think it's funny that we have to use the term the Spider or Spider Noir because of rights issues. But I'm here for it, man. I believe that another villain that might have possibly been teased in the trailer was Mr. Negative from the Spider-Man comics and of course the Spider-Man video games. And it would be awesome to see that character too, man. Just because from what I saw in the video game, he was great. So I'm very intrigued to see that character. Also, just wondering what other characters that we'll get in this show. I think there might have been possibly a tease of him seeing another woman in the World War I camp that he was in, like the medical facility. He might have seen Gwen Stacy, Mary Jane, but we're not quite sure yet. But that's one of the best parts about this show that we've been teased on is there's a lot of mystery behind it still. But I gotta say, I'm ready to see Nicolas Cage just go wild, man. Like you could just tell this character completely fits him. And the tagline with no power comes no responsibility. I think he's gonna eat that up.
It's funny you say that because that's literally what's going through my mind right now. Is it seems like the character type that they're building this Ben Riley to be really fits Nicholas Cage's acting style. So I think they'll allow him to have some kind of crazy, like the bees moment, while also having some more serious toned detective story. and we've already saw a couple of characters. Now, I don't have their name because I didn't look them up, but we definitely got our boy from New Girl, and I love him. So I'm happy to see him in this. Winston from New Girl is in here. So that's going to be really cool. I'm happy to see him getting more roles. And the young lady who was talking to Ben Riley, I don't exactly know who she is, but I think I have the same question is along with the rogues gallery they were kind of seeing all of his bad guys, what people will we see in his world that are friends? Will Marvel give them any permission to use any other character outside of the Spider-Man mythos? So could you see a world where Roxxon exists, or a mention to Howard Stark or something like that, where I think you can build up this world where all of those things still exist but in a much different way?
Yeah, I'm right there with you, King. Like, I feel like we should get some answers on that soon. Hopefully, when the show drops. Uh, Honestly, for me, this is what the Spider Verse should have been all along. You know, and instead of us creating trying to create heroes out of villains. Just give us the characters that we got from the Spider Verse movies, man. Give us live action TV shows, animated TV shows of them. The Friendly Neighborhood Spider Man animated show had a great first season. We're going to be covering the second. Like just expand on these different universes and give it and show us these different characters in a new light that make us care about them even more than we do now.
Agreed. I think if Sony wanted to really do a big power play and make a big boy move, they would do exactly that. They would use all the characters because they pretty much referenced every Spider-Man in the last Spider-Verse movie with that place where they all meet up. So you could get any one of those popular characters and make a great show out of it. They could definitely do the Peter Porker. Even if they did that animated series, I'm sure, including me and you, would watch it. So
We
I
watch
think
it.
I right. So I think that's where Sony can really, if they were smart, we've noticed that they haven't always made the smartest moves. So I don't want to give them too much credit, but that would be a really cool thing for them to do, would be instead of focusing on these anti-hero based characters that doesn't really have an association without Spider-Man, you could use other Spider-Man and tell us a story like me and you have said a lot, they could use Andrew Garfield. He's out there, he's young enough, and there's stories that could be told with him. And you could then mix in all the other Spider-Man into a story in live action. So I don't know. Maybe this is the start of something good. The action in the trailer looks really good. I love the Spider-Man mask. It's definitely got all the webbing on it still. I love that he was sitting there drinking, getting drunk, and lifted the mask up. Like you see the picture of Peter Parker eating the burger with the mask
Yeah.
up. So there's some cool elements that I think we're really gonna lean on pretty heavily.
Yeah, same. I think so too. I think one of my favorite scenes in the trailer is when the woman's explaining to him like what happened, what we're asking him like what happened, what did you do? He's like, oh, I just beat the crap out of somebody. That's what's gonna make this show stand out from more Sony projects, just because it's set in that noir setting and it's giving us a version of a character that was played up for laughs in an animated movie. But I think he's still gonna give us the laughs, but we're also gonna, like you said, we're gonna get a serious tone from him, maybe a more darker edge that we haven't seen before.
I think that would absolutely be fantastic, and I think that's what the Spider-Man series of, whether it's Marvel or Sony, they could use a little bit of a darker tone to really set the stage for some of those scarier characters, and that's kind of what Morbius should have been, and that's kind of what
Hmm.
Venom and Carnage should have been. So maybe they'll do it right this time. I don't know. We'll see. But let me give my final thoughts. I think it was a cool trailer. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen next. It is an 8 episode series, as far as I know. And of course, we'll be covering it here on the channel and we'll be talking about the difference between the black and white and Technicolor and all those cool things. So please stick around and hang out with us and find out. But those are my final thoughts. Jay, give us yours and take us on out, my boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is not Morbin time. That universe is gone. It is now time for Spider Noir. And like my man said, it's going to be an 8 episode series dropping May 27th. We will be here to cover it. And I am absolutely excited for it. I hope you guys are too. My question for the chat, however, is are you guys going to look at this in black and white? Or are you going to look at it in Technicolor? Maybe you'll do both. I'm going to look at it in black and white. But that's my thoughts for now. Please continue to like, share, and comment. Thank you all for the support. And as always, stay nerdy, my friends.